want everybody to act like adults, quit playing games, realize that it's not just my way or the highway. How many folks are married here? When was the last time you just got your way?
Don't balance the budget on the backs of the elderly, the poor, and the sick.
The Democrats and Republicans need to get together, work through their differences, keep the government running so we can focus on keeping this economy growing, focus on things like clean energy, drive and get down gas prices. That's our job. That's what people want to see, results.
We estimate, and I believe these are very conservative estimates, that H.R. 1 would lead to 70,000 kids dying.
People were elected simply to come here to kill the National Endowment for the Arts. Now they're here to kill women. Did you know that? It's sort of like an old German Nazi movement. Show me your papers.
Threatening seniors' health and cutting off our children's education just to give tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires is not the middle ground.
I think what they're looking from me is the same thing that they're looking from Speaker Boehner and Harry Reid and everybody else, and that is that we act like grown-ups.
The so-called path to progress looks more like a road to ruin for Medicare and a road to riches for big oil.
When we are in negotiations like this, that everybody gives a little bit, compromises a little bit in order to do the people's business.
I would like to see a couple of 100,000 people coming here to Washington to say hello to the president, say hello to the Republicans, say do not balance the budget on the middle class and working families of this country. When the richest people are getting richer, they have not contributed one nickel to deficit reduction.
This really is a civil war fight. This is making the federal government dysfunctional on the 150th anniversary of the Civil War.
This is the functional equivalent of bombing innocent civilians.
The consequences of that would be catastrophic to the United States. Default by the United States would precipitate a crisis worse than the one we just went through.
To call the United States bankrupt, the United States is running humongous deficits, yes, but the economy and this mission in Libya are two separate issues.
They're not separate issues, ma'am. You're just carrying the water for Mr. Obama.
If he's listening, I just hope he understands that what he's proposing to do is completely contrary to our values as Americans. That this country has been built on the notions of religious freedom and religious tolerance.
Free speech is a great idea, but we're in a war. During World War II, you had limits on what you could say if it would inspire the enemy. So burning a Quran is a terrible thing.
Reporters are starting to concentrate more than ever on what he says rather than how he says it. We will stipulate that he's the greatest orator of modern times.
Man, that was a good question there. I mean, is that how he talks all the time? Man, I better take off my jacket. That was serious. If you want to be a TV commentator, you let me know. But I know some of these big guys, they're all still driving their big SUVs. You know, they got their big monster trucks and everything. You're one of them? Well, now, here's my point. You know, if you're complaining about the price of gas and you're only getting 8 miles a gallon, you know, well, you may have a big family, but it's probably not that big. How many you have? 10 kids, you said? 10 kids? What, is there some rule at Gamesa that you got to have a whole bunch of kids? I mean, we got 10 over here, got 7 over here. Golly.